Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. I'm your host, Sir Stephen Topham Hatt the Third, at your service. Now we're going to tell you something very important indeed. I completed the puzzle. Now, when you think of that, what do you think I'm talking about? A lot of the Thomason fans out there, even the community of Thomason friends and Thomason Tank itself in general, I know what's ahead of me. Right? You can't bully me or senselessly go the wrong way. I completed this puzzle to a very high degree, very powerfully. I know all my private connections, colleagues, and friends and family all at once. I know them all, right? I want bullshit with you, and I will not take any shit from you. However, the Norfolk Railway is going to get its nasty surprise when they work out what's unfolding in the future for them anyway. But I will leave them alone, as I would do, and let them get on with it until they solve it themselves, because I'm not going to give them every answer in the book I already know of. Right? Yes, everybody that knows about my lady Hatt, for example, I won't give out her surname or her name or her middle name, because that's already the first. The first name and the middle name has already been classified all on the internet anyway, right? The last name I worked it out myself, and I kept it to myself, right? Now it's got to unfold naturally. Unfold. Now I've just got to wait for her. But for you guys, you got to realise, okay, you're asking yourselves in the Thomas community as a whole, and the rest of the world, obviously included, are asking, where's Richard? Where is Emily? They're not here yet. Where are they? Well, you're gonna get that problem anyway. You know what I mean? You're gonna work it out in your head. You're gonna go cuckoo, 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 right? And it's not gonna be cuckoo. Why? Because it's real life you see unfold. So when it unfolds in front of you, everybody will snap their fingers and say, right, he's cracked it already. The puzzle is completed, yes, but I only gone far as my granddaughter. I worked out my wife, and I got the kids on top. Now work it out. If you know I solved this puzzle in one swing, but it's still continuing, work it out like Walden the rest of them would say. Why? He will shit himself in his pants for this, for actually putting in all the information in the correct fashion. But I know who my lady hat is, but I can't say what her surname is. Right? There's a thing about a thing, right? I've been watched, listened, and heard throughout all my life. Been safeguarded, if you will, for obvious reasons. I mean, there's a lot of reasons. Well, a lot of people have been safeguarded for all their lives. You know, even when we were kids, we had to grow up in a safe environment, a safe security, and so forth, etc., etc. But things got broken up a bit, right? So every time the bill had to do their job, I have to do my job. Now I've got to do it properly by the books. Now I've got to let it unfold naturally. I've got to let it do this. I've got to do that. Get my kids in play. Get my kid and my grandkid in play, and then check. Right? What will happen is every one of you that's actually listening to this last podcast is actually telling you the puzzle is completed. Yes, because I worked out my lady hat's name, bang bang, and surname on top, poof. But I'm letting it play out as naturally. Why? Because if I try to jump in too early, too late, or whatever, mediocre, it doesn't matter. The fact is, she has to come to me. It's a way of saying I can't run to her because it'd be like stalking a woman to the ends of the earth. This is not the case. The case is I've now got to play the waiting game. Just a bit here, okay? I look young. I look like a 21-year-old. I get past that. Okay, I'm 40s in my 40 years of age in general. A mature young man that's got a lot of experience, a lot of background material, but know all my engines, know everything about them. Right? Now you've got this member of the family wised again for a third generation. Now found out who his third generation wife is as well, and the kids on top. Now work that out. That's something I said. The puzzle is completed, but it's still continuing. Why is that? My private connection, Wild Norwester, is getting a piece of every bit of the future that's going on in the future. So every time I'm getting a bit, I'm getting a little bit more every day. So when you think this is a joke, this is no damn fucking joke. Excuse my language, out of tone. I do want you to realise that I completed my part of my puzzle, completed the end of it. Now I've got to wait for her. Simple as. I know the surname, know the first name, and I know the middle name. Why? The middle name was a dead clue, but the last name was a lot harder to follow. Why is that? Well, it's to do with well, I was an adult when I was a young adult, and I was a teenager. Was in Orsted in Norwich, / Norwich, and because we call it Orsted in Sodor terms, and everybody's saying, look, yes, I did know a friend, right, who was like trying to help and then humiliate me and everything else. I said no, it'd be not that type of person, obviously, but it's the same branch from his tree line. It's a way to express it without mentioning no surnames in play. Right, so you have to now realise the puzzle is completed, but it's still continuing. Why? You see, people we care about the most could make the difference in the long run. I'm safeguarding this individual, who's my wife, from harm. Why is that? When Burnett Stone said this, he said, I'm protecting her from the evil diesel, right? Long time ago. To make that pattern not repeat again, we are actually changing the time stream. Why is that? Sa- Safeguarding her because she's my wife, yes, but like I said, I've got to wait till she comes to me. I've got to protect myself, which is why I'm in the Albion, in the office in Plymouth or / Knapford. So work it out. I do my job, and I still do my job. But the puzzle is completed. I know who she is. She's my wife. Obviously, we know that. But now it's a waiting game. The kids are already in check and known and played. Why? A lot of these family names that are coming up. Let's say Richard, for example, right? Very odd name, but a friend of the family, right? But it's actually a friend family. Basically, when I say this in real life terms of Thomas and Friends in real life, we always said the puzzle is completed, but it's still continuing. Why? Something on the bottom of the chain line came paired in the sixth generation, and it doesn't add up. So what's happened? You're ending up with an anonymous bloody character in the Wild Norwester's timeline. Doesn't add up yet, but it will make sense on a longer note. So whatever so now I've got to go from him and go backwards to work out what will be unfolding a lot more quickly. You got me and my wife, you got my kid, and then you got my grandchild. Ding ding. Then there will be something that to be worried about. But because if it plays out correctly, it will hit the node on everybody. Norfolk where they won't be able to do anything because they'll be dead and gone, buried. Why? Because they won't exist to watch this. This is what our descendants are going to watch and learn. And they're going to work it all out like a book. Why? The puzzle is completed, yes, at this stage, for the third generation to complete it in full in real life. So you get the facts for the next part of the story. So work it out. You're getting the facts, you're getting the truth, and you're getting the logic. But where's my wife? Now it's just a waiting game. I know the surname, but for safeguard purposes, I'm not allowed to liberty say who it is. So you now have to play the waiting game. Right? We know the puzzle is completed, and I trust certain individuals in my little circle, and I said, boom, boom, both. Couldn't say the they know who it is, but they can't say nothing about it. Keep it going in a circle. Everybody knows the Circle of Life song by the Lion King. Very easy, very emotional, may I add. But at the longer run, the puzzle of Thomas and Friends is completed, but it's still continuing. Why? You got Richard and you got Emily coming, but they're not here. They're not alive and well. You're not seeing them in this flat, for God's sake, sense. They will never be here. Why? Not here while I'm at work. What's the difference between the two? If they're not born yet, or they're not raised yet, what do you think I'm doing right now? Repairing something. Repairing a little timeline that has to be fixed. Now, if this gets messed up, you're going to end up screwed, right? Like it would do, right? You're ending up with a character that's just coming out in the 6th gen and it doesn't add up, right? You've got the 6th gen and he's not adding up, right? He's got to work, now you've got to work out this mysterious character from Wild and Wester has just come to light, right? I know his name, and so do you if you looked it up. And then that would show what? Fuck, if Stephen Topham Hatt's still here, where's the other two, and where is this last part of the puzzle here? Then your head will start clicking and saying, we've gone too far ahead. But what it is, it's time. Time is the essence. So think about it. Go back. You have to go back because we have to slowly put it in. Why? Because if we fuck up, so would they. And that will all end up in pairs and tears and crying wolf. There'll be another 30 years on the clock. So work it out. The puzzle is completed, but still continuing. Why? Everybody knows it because they probably read the book and they know it's true. They know it's all realistic. They know it's all facts. It's all logic and respect. But are you actually giving it a lot of more thought at the moment? I know who my wife is, but I'm not chasing her. She's got to come to me in her own terms. So in reality, that has to happen, right? I know who she is, but like I said, this particular family group in particular, which I cannot give out the surname for, has been watching me since the day I was born. Why is that? Why did my other? Well, you got one grandfather protecting me in my own household when I was a kid. Work it out. And while my other grandfather was working with the other side of the family. Why? To make sure it plays out correctly. So one grandson is living in one place, all my half siblings are working in another department. So it's like a split up, but we come back together as a whole, fix that, fix that, fix that, ding, 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 ding. What happens at the end? Then you've got this mysterious name come up, with my name, obviously, married, with 2 kids, or 1 kid and a grandchild. Work it out. It makes sense, don't it? Then, now you've got the mysterious, unknown individual that isn't born yet, age-wise not applicable, nothing applicable at the moment, and you've got this guy, and he's saying, why is this individual popped up? Right? You got that question in your head. But the puzzle for me is completed. Don't get me wrong. By the time Emily Helen Hatt continues off where I left off, that's it. Then you got to work out. I already know the surname, the first name, and the middle name. So I've got all the puzzle in my head. Right? In the day, it's still continuing in real life. This is where the facts are coming in with broad daylight. The magic you refuse to believe in got a better out of you because it's continuing and continuing. Why? When you're looking at me and looking at yourself and realize he's not joking, because I won't joke about that. In any angle, in any direction. So work it out. What is unfolding in front of you? The other half of that book. So look how it's played out, and the way my friend from America stated, the prophecy of the hats has come true. And you wouldn't listen even once, not even twice. It took you 3 times to bloody listen and understand that in every angle. And now you're telling me I've gone like mommy? No. The puzzle is completed, but it's still continuing. Why is that? You got Richard Topham Hatt, then you got Emily Helen Hatt, right? Then you got a mysterious unknown figure just coming to the light, right? But not born, no age, no height, no weight, or no year for that matter, because I'm recorrecting Wild Norwesters mistakes. Every time he puts the correct one in anyway, he puts in a lot of safeguards in place. Why? Because he's a family friend connection. He on the internet he's called Dan the Man, Wild Norwester, on Discord, blah blah blah. Right? But deep down he knows a lot more than you and I. He knows as much as I do. So he knows every detail, every one of you around the globe. He's got a little piece of puzzle all the time, and it connects you to every individual around the globe. Why? Because there's things unfolding that you're learning very quickly and very fast and efficiently, so I don't have to worry about too much. So I don't have a brain overload, as they call it in some mechanics, but it's not that way, all right? The story is told in truth, and it's unfolded in truth. The puzzle is completed, but it's still continuing. Why? I worked out who my lady hat is, but then you got to wait for Richard Topham Hat to reveal himself. Obviously, he'd be blood related to me, yes. Then you got my granddaughter, Emily Helen Hat, as it predicted. Right? So the dates don't always add up on Wild Norwest's timeline. When he tells you on the internet, he has to tell it in fiction first for you to do all the calculations in your head. By the time you worked me out, like I worked myself out, bang! Then you had, what? This is all happening? Yeah, the puzzle was completed, but it still continued. Why? Because we have an unknown individual that is not born or raised, age or weight or height is not available yet. Thank you very much. In any angle,